because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Let's look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Oh God, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. Afraid to dream, afraid to imagine. But I'm here to tell you that you are an infinite, limitless, boundless being. Are you willing to do what is necessary to have what you desire?
Thank you for joining us. Please take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. If you are finding value in these enrichment sessions, please consider supporting this page financially. Your donations allow us to continue to provide spiritual enlightenment, self-exploration, and kingdom knowledge. Also, consider becoming a partner because partnerships have this privilege. As a partner, you'll be able to attend our annual Partners Only Summer Summit, join us for our 6 a.m. virtual daily guided meditation sessions, weekly advanced empowerment sessions, regular prophetic insights and instructions, 30% discount on all Emerge books and merchandise, and a custom Emerge t-shirt. You'll also gain full access to the private Emerge Movement community page as well as group chats. Once again, thank you for watching.
And good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Emerge Empowerment Session. I'm your host, Isaac J. Miles Sr., and I am so glad for every one of you that are watching me across all platforms. I appreciate your being here. Thank you for choosing to join me and being a part of this conscious conversation. Today, we are going to continue our series entitled The Ministry of Value. And today, we're going to focus on divine discernment. Divine discernment, not discernment. Where'd that come from? Divine discernment. Divine discernment. This is a tool and a key to your living your best and an extraordinary life that I think you're going to really enjoy talking about, learning about, and being informed about, so that you're able to practically apply some principles to your life to help you to navigate this three-dimensional existence that we call Earth, and be able to do so successfully. So I am glad that you've decided to tune in. I hope that you will engage with this live and send your questions, your comments, and your input, your insights as we discuss divine discernment under the heading of the Ministry of Value, learning to value ourselves, understanding how important our existence is and our presence, our being. And today we're going to deal with divine discernment. I don't know why I'm having a tricky time saying that. Divine discernment. So you're tuned in to the right place at the right time. One of the most powerful places on the planet. It's the Emerge Empowerment Session. Listen, I need you to do a couple of things for me before we get into our conversation this morning. I need everybody that's on the live right now across every platform, whether you're watching via Facebook, TikTok, or on YouTube, or on Instagram. I need you to right now begin to share this live. Everybody hit the share button right now. Share it on your page, share it in your group chat, share it with your friends, your cousins, your mom and them. Invite them to come and be a part of the conversations with us today. Help me to build this audience, to broaden the reach of this platform by sharing this live with all of your friends. Those of you watching me on TikTok, watching me on Facebook, on YouTube, hit the share button right now. I need everybody, please hit the share button right now. Second thing that I need for you to do is engage. Okay, I appreciate your viewing and jumping in and watching and observing, but I need you to engage. Yeah, even if it's just saying good morning, hello, how you doing, putting up where you're watching me from, whatever city, state, country, or region you are in, put it in the chat. But if you have some input or questions that you'd like to ask, you want to engage with the conversation, this is an interactive, robust exchange. I want you to engage. So everybody, please go ahead and engage in the comments. Matter of fact, right now, go ahead and just say hello, good morning, how you doing, or good evening, depending on where you're watching from. And just say how you doing. Let me know where you're watching from, whether it's in the United States or in another country, what part of the country that you're in. Just let us know that you're there and that you're watching and that you're tuned in. I see so many of you that have joined me on TikTok as well as here on Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate your being here. Just say a quick good morning. Now, this is specifically for the people that are watching on Facebook. You can do something unique. You can tag people in the comments that you'd like to come and be a part of this conversation. please take advantage of this and just go in the comments and begin to tag your friends and family and your loved ones, your cousins, and people that you think would benefit from being a part of this conversation. I don't think you can tag on TikTok or you can on Instagram as well. You can do that there. I don't think you can do that on YouTube. So just tag as many people as you possibly can, invite them to come over and be a part of this conscious conversation. All right, so we ready to go? We've got about, I've already used up 7-8 minutes already. So we've got about 52 minutes left for this conversation. And I've got a lot of information and very little time to try and cover it all. But if I start talking too fast, tell me to slow down, or to repeat whatever it is that you want me to repeat. I am more than happy to do so, because the key and the motive and the focus is for you to get an understanding, for you to walk away with some practical principles that can help you to live a more successful and spiritual life. So, but I'm going to try and move as fast as I can to try and cover as much ground as I possibly can. That's right. Interact with this live today. I need some hearts over here on Facebook. Y'all keep hitting those hearts and likes. Those of you who are over here on TikTok, I need as many likes. Go ahead and double tap that screen as you're coming in. Let's see if we can get those likes up to about 10,000 this morning. I need everybody watching to start double tapping the screen right now. Make sure you follow everybody that comes in. And let's all follow each other, help build up each other's accounts. I'm going to follow everybody that follows me as soon as I get off this live. Now, don't follow to unfollow, because if you do, I'm going to unfollow you. Okay, but let's all make sure that we do that. Double tap that screen. If you'd like to give a gift, you know how to do so. You can do it there, whether it's a rose or some other type of thing, that's fine. That's really not my goal or function. You can do it. I appreciate it, but I really want you to be on here to engage. And I do need your likes, though. Double tap the screen. All right, all of you, let's get involved in today's conversation. Let's talk about divine discernment. We've already laid the groundwork about honoring your value at the beginning of this particular series, the ministry of value. We've talked about honoring your values. We talked about setting boundaries, which is very important, that you don't just give everybody open access to you and to every part of your life, that you protect your energy, that you protect the giftings that are inside of you. And we also talked about the importance of presence, being fully present in the moment, and the power that your physical as well as spiritual, emotional, mental presence brings and changes the atmosphere. Today, under the same heading, the ministry of value, I want to talk about divine discernment. Now, not suspicion. Let me make it clear. We're not talking about being suspicious, and there is a difference. We're not talking about being judgmental. There is a difference. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the conversation, but we are specifically talking about divine discernment. Okay? We want to talk about what it means to have divine discernment. Think of discernment as spiritual wisdom, spiritual insight, spiritual revelation and understanding. Think about this divine discernment as that intuitive voice that speaks from within you, and sometimes around you, but most often inside of you. It's that knowing, or the thing that we most often call something. Something told me, something warned me, something didn't feel right, something was a little bit off. You understand what I'm saying? Your divine discernment. And contrary to popular belief, everybody has it. You don't have to be a part of a particular religious ideology or sect or belief system. You don't have to be born into a particular family or have a particular bloodline. It's not a calling. It's not an anointing, if you will, or any of those other kind of special this, that, or the other. Divine discernment is inherent and innate in every single person that exists on the planet. Everybody has divine discernment. Every one of us, as a divine expression of God, as the three-dimensional animated expression of God in human form, come loaded and coded, fully equipped with this gift that is called divine discernment. Now, you may not necessarily recognize it or acknowledge it as such. Like I said, most often you probably refer to it as simply something told me, or I felt a gut feeling or an unction, but it is your divine discernment. Hey, Elliot, good to see you. Glad that you decided to join me this morning. Okay. Yes, Toya, divine discernment is an extraordinary ability that allows us to perceive deeper truth and insights beyond the surface. That's a great comment and definition. Thank you for sharing that in the comments with us right now. Okay. Divine discernment is like an inner voice or a compass that's at work inside of us. It is not just sharing insights, understanding, and revelation, but sometimes it's just an indicator or a warning system, a built-in alarm system that says to us, this is not for us or is for us. It helps us to make decisions about whether we should do something or not without even having maybe all the information surrounding it. It is the voice of God speaking intuitively within us, offering us guidance, direction, clarity, understanding, and insight. To discern simply means to perceive the subtle differences. That's a very brief and short definition, but it is very on point, succinct, and concise. To discern, and whoever's being my scribe over here this morning, write this little brief definition in the comments for me. To discern means to perceive the subtle differences, subtle, small differences, almost unnoticeable. To simply perceive the subtle differences. This is what it means to discern, to perceive the subtle differences. Okay? It could be something as simple as knowing the difference between a friend who is merely venting to you or a friend who's truly asking for advice. Sometimes you got to discern the difference. Not everybody that's talking to you is wanting you to give input and tell them what to do. Sometimes people just want to vent. And then there are others who are talking, but they genuinely want your insight. I had a conversation with a friend of mine that I've had for years yesterday where he called and, I can always tell when he's wanting to vent and then when he's wanting some counsel. And so yesterday I could tell from the subject matter and the framing of what he began the conversation with that he wanted some insight and some advice. And so I began to share with him a perspective that was, let's say, free from objective, free from all of the other minutia that may be surrounding us when we get in our feelings, we get in our emotion. I was able to discern what his intent was and what his desire was from the conversation. That's an example of discernment. It's not walking around with your eyes squinted up and your face all frowned up like church people thinking, the Lord is showing me, I see. Nonsense. Okay. That's absolute nonsense. I mean, if you want to do that, that's the way you feel like you want to express it, then okay, that's fine. Do it, but it's not necessary. It's not some supernatural thing that's coming from the outside. No, it hits you like a ton of bricks, and now you got to frown up and squint your eyes and no. Okay, it is an innate ability that is already woven into your DNA. It is a part of who you are, and every person has it. I'll say it again. Okay, it is knowing the difference between this or that, being able to make a clear discernment between one thing or another. It could be sensing that a job offer will be lucrative or just right for you, or discerning that no, even though this job pays extremely well, there's something about it that just doesn't quite sit right with me. Listen to me. When your discernment kicks in, when your intuition begins to speak up and speak out, you should always, 100% of the time, listen to that inner voice. Listen to that gut feeling. Listen to what resonates with your soul, with your spirit. Listen to your intuition. Listen and align yourself with your intuitive knowing and your divine discernment, because it is always 100% right. I don't care what it looks like on the surface. If it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't resonate, if something feels off, it's because it is. Let me say it again. If something feels off, it's because it is. I don't care how they're smiling and laughing and glad handing with you. If something about someone feels a little bit off, or you pick up on something intuitively, listen to that voice. It is the voice of God that is speaking from within you. Many times people think that the voice of God is James Earl Jones, speaking from outside of you from the heavens. This is CNN. This is God talking to you. Hear me, my child. That's not. That is not the voice of God. God is not James Earl Jones or Morgan Freeman, okay? And it is not this booming voice that's coming from the outside. But God is resident, and the Spirit of God, the presence of God, is resident within each and every one of us. You are the divine animated expression of God. So when God speaks from within. Now, you do have to be able to discern the voice that's speaking within you. You have to discern your feelings, discern your intuition. You have to discern between whether or not this is the voice of God, that divine voice within you speaking with clarity and understanding, or whether it is the echoes that exist within your conscious mind. All of us have to deal with echoes. All of us have to deal with these echoing voices, the voice of your mother, your father, your grandmother, grandparents, the voice of your friends, the voice of your culture, the voice of your environment, and the voice of your religion. If you happen to be a practitioner of such, then you have to discern between, am I hearing this voice within me? Is it the voice of my mother, the voice of my father, the voice of my religion or culture speaking, or is it the divine voice of God, that divine discernment that is emerging within me and resonating within my spirit? How do I distinguish between the voice of my friends and colleagues, the voice of a circumstance, or is it the voice of my trauma, my hurt, my pain, my disappointment, or the voice of my own desires and lusts and yearnings or longings? Is it the voice of my preacher, my prophet, my bishop, my apostle, my teacher, my guru, my shaman? Is it the voice of the Bible or the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita or the voice of the book of Tao or Chi? Is it those voices that are resonating and reverberating and speaking and echoing? Or am I authentically hearing the voice of God speaking within me, unctioning me, and giving me guidance? There is a text, a narrative that is recorded in Kings in the Bible. It talks about when Elijah is running. He's running because a threat has been put out against him, that Bathsheba has put out a hit on his life and said, the same thing you did to the prophets, my prophets, I'm going to do to you. And they're going to kill you. We're going to take you out. And so he goes running because he's afraid. And when he is running, he runs into a cave and he is hiding in that cave, trying to get away from the threat that is coming toward him. Man, I could do a whole teaching and sermon just on hiding in the cave, but I'm not going to. That's not the assignment. I'm just using it as an example. So while hiding in the cave, then the scripture says God began to speak. God passed by. And so Elijah comes out to hear what God is going to say to him. And when he comes out, he observes a few things. Number one, there's an earthquake, and the earth begins to shake violently. But the text says, but God was not in the earthquake. Then the wind began to blow vociferously, blowing violently, streams of wind. But the scripture says, but God was not in the wind. So there's an earthquake, there's a wind, but then finally, the text says, and then there was a still small voice. And that was the voice of God. I give that example to illustrate that sometimes when you are seeking answers, when you are trying to tune in to the frequency, to hear the voice of God speaking within, you can become distracted by the earthquake and the wind, by all of the clamor that's taking on around you, those interior echoes and voices that are trying to reverberate through your mind and your conscious thoughts. You got to deal with, what did my husband say, my wife say, my sister, my brother, my cousin, my pastor, my bishop, my mama, my grandmama. What does the culture say? My trauma, my pain, my hurt, my disappointment, my own desires. How do I now navigate between all of these voices and discern the divine voice of God that is speaking, that still small voice that doesn't come boisterous? It's not loud. It's not screaming. It's not earth shaking or earth shattering. It's not some great humongous thing, but it is a light that turns on and an aha moment that resonates deeply. So I thought that before I went further in talking about divine discernment, I would tell you how you can discern the voice of God speaking within you. I want to give you 5 things that you can use to practically discern the voice of God when it is speaking within you and giving you insight, revelation, direction, and guidance. Are you ready? I want to give you 5 things, and I need my scribes over here to put these 5 things in the comments as I say them off. I'm not going to spend a lot of time unpacking them, but I do want to make sure that I give them to you. Now, y'all don't forget to double tap that screen. Those likes are really low. I need a whole lot more likes over here on TikTok, and I need y'all to engage with me a lot more. I need more hearts popping up over here. So y'all come on and engage with this live, okay? Help me to help you. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here are 5 distinct characteristics or indicators that you are hearing the voice of God speaking from within you. Number 1 is that it goes against the grain. What do I mean when I say it goes against the grain? It is in direct opposition to your ego. Woo! Every one of us got it. Every one of us got that ego that wants to kick in. That ego is that thing that always wants us to be seen, to be heard, to be felt. It wants us to be right. It cannot stand to be wrong. Oh my goodness, ego. Ego drives us, okay, in many cases. And so when the voice of God begins to speak from within, it will always be in direct opposition to your ego. Number 2, in discerning the voice of God within, is that it always brings clarity. The voice of God brings clarity. It gives you insight and understanding that you may not have been aware of before. It brings into your conscious mind that light turns on and you get that oh my, oh I see, aha moment where it just all of a sudden you now have clarity, understanding, and insight. Number 3 is, and this is really important, it brings peace. In the most chaotic situation, in the most clamorous and anarchy all around you, when you hear or sense or encounter the voice of God speaking from within and sometimes from without, and I'll explain what I mean by without in just a moment, it will always bring you this peace. It resonates with you. Even when it doesn't seem to make logical sense, it resonates. You feel a peace and a calmness about it. You are at peace with it, even though it may not necessarily be what everybody else wants or what you even desire. It goes against what your egoic desires are, but you feel a peace and a resonance about it. Number 4, it always requires faith. The voice of God speaking from within, that divine discernment, that divine direction, insight, and guidance always requires you to operate in faith. And faith is moving forward even when you don't see any visible evidence that this may necessarily be the right choice or decision or direction. But it requires you to operate in faith. And then finally, number 5, this voice speaks from within. That is your voice, your dreams, your visions, okay, your premonitions. But it sometimes speaks from without. Now, this is going to shake the basket a little bit, rock the boat a little bit with some religious people, because sometimes the voice of God, because maybe there's too much clutter, too much noise, too much confusion going on within your conscious mind, will show up in a book or in people. Someone will say something and it automatically resonates and brings peace to your soul and causes an aha, and the light turns on. It does all of those other 4 things that we listed before. Okay? Through a book, through people, through a movie. I've gotten several aha moments from just watching, like the first time I saw The Matrix. Man, there's so much information in The Matrix. There's so much spiritual insight that comes from that particular movie. I'm telling you, powerful. Okay? Or Wrinkle in Time, another one of those movies that just gave me an aha moment. Okay? So through movies, through films, and synchronicities. Synchronicities, like you're seeing 444777, or I remember a day where I was just randomly going about my day and looked down, and there were 7 pennies lined up in a perfect row sitting on the sidewalk. I just walked up on it. That's a synchronicity. That's a sign. Okay, that's an indicator, and it gave me this insight, this unction, this aha moment. So the voice of God speaks from within. That is your voice within your own consciousness, within your soul, but it also speaks through visions and through dreams. Many of you are dreamers and have prophetic dreams, or dreams that give you insight and revelation and understanding. Also premonitions, unexplainable knowings, and an intuition from within, but it also speaks from without. God will use some of the most common things in this life, books and movies and encounters with people and conversations, to spark an idea and a revelation within you. Those are the 5 things. Okay, let's keep going. This is deep work, y'all. Okay, but it is also a part of the ministry of value because your energy and your time are valuable, and you don't want them to just go to any place or be given to anyone or lend them to any cause. So that when you are asked whether you should do something or not, whether you would participate in something or not, whether you will engage with something or not, you need divine discernment to decide, to be able to decipher, is this for me or not? Should I or should I not? And most often, watch this divine discernment comes into play. That intuition is not always between good and bad. Sometimes it's between what's good and what's right. Y'all didn't get that. Y'all didn't get that. So in most cases, you need your divine discernment, your intuition, not to discern between what's good and bad, because you kind of obviously know what's bad and what's good for you. But most often, you need to discern, you need to really get clarity and the direction and the divine guidance of the Spirit of God within you to discern between what's good and what's right. Because everything that's good is not necessarily right for you. You can be doing a good thing, but it's not the right thing for you in that moment, in that place, at this time, or at all. The people who struggle with this the most are people who are highly gifted and multi-talented. Because you have the ability to do so many things and do them well, you can find yourself getting caught up in doing multiple things, but they're not what's really a part of your purpose, and they don't align with who you really are. They are not right for you. Nothing wrong with what you're doing. They're a good thing to do. They are profitable. They are helpful. They're inspiring even to others, but they are not the right thing for you. And so you are running around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to juggle 11 different things, 11 different things that are all good things, trying to help this one, help that one, do this, do that, do this, do this, do this, and this, and this. All of them good things, but they are not the right thing for you. You have to discern what is the will of God for your life. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. I'm talking to all of you multi-gifted, multi-talented people that are watching me right now, who are struggling with this one syllable word, full sentence, no. You can't say no, especially when you know you have the ability and the talent and know how to get something done. And so people will make a demand of you because they see your skill, they see your talent, they see your ability, they see your intellect, they see your creativity. But you have to discern, is this for me? Whether it's good or not, it's a good thing, but is it for me? Is it right for me? Should I engage with this? Should I involve myself? Is this the right place for me to direct and focus my energy at this moment? How many of you watching me right now find yourself feeling drained and depleted because you have got too many irons in the fire, because you're trying to do all of these good things, but they're not the right thing for you? How many of you have become a jack of all trades, but the master of none? And you're not getting that sense of fulfillment that comes along with performing something that is a part of your purpose versus just doing something that's good and makes everybody around you happy, but leaves you unfulfilled. You're so gifted. You're so talented. And it's hard for you to say no because you know you can do it. Or whether it's someone asking you to do it or not, you just feel motivated to do it because you can. You can. This is especially prevalent in those who are gifted and they are in leadership. One of the most difficult things for a person in leadership to do who is extremely gifted and multi-talented is to begin to delegate responsibility to other people. They run around trying to do everything themselves because nobody can do it quite like them, and because they can. Because they can, they feel like they should. And so ego-driven, they go running in to do it themselves. And you end up burning yourself out because you have not discerned between what is good and what is right for you. What is it that you should be doing? Just because you can sing don't mean you need to be in the choir. Hello. Doesn't mean that just because you can sing doesn't mean that you're going to be a grand recording artist. Everybody who can sing is not meant to be a recording artist or a celebrity singer. Just because you can put together phrases well together doesn't mean that you need to be a rapper. You might actually be good at rapping, but it doesn't mean that that's what is meant for you to do. Just because you can talk doesn't mean that you're a preacher. Oh, Lord have mercy. Just because you can put together a cogent thought and people like listening to you doesn't mean that you're a preacher or a life coach. Just because you can doesn't mean that it's right for you. You have to discern what is right for you. That's where divine discernment most often comes into play. It's not trying to discern between the good and the bad. You know that. You innately, instinctively know that. There's a divine presence within you that is accusing and excusing all things as they enter into your life. You know that the Holy Spirit that lives within you, the divine presence of God, is always leading and guiding you into all truth and showing you those things which are to come. That's according to St. John. You can discern that, but you have to discern, that's right, Didi, what is right for you. Folk who struggle with rejection fall into this all the time. Right, Sharon? I thank you. I'm going to put that comment on the screen. I'm seeing the comments. Don't think that I'm not. Let me put them on screen. Folks who struggle with rejection fall into this all the time of trying to please everybody and trying to do this for everybody and trying to be there for everybody. And you're doing good things, but it is not what is right for you. And so Dee Dee says you have to discern what is right for you. She put it in all caps and put exclamation points behind. It's true. And what's right for you may not always line up with what everybody else desires for you to do. I've been reading this book by Mel Robbins called The Let Them Theory. I love Mel Robbins. She's absolutely phenomenal. The Let Them Theory. And it is such a powerful thing. Just those two words, let them. Let them. Let them quit trying to control and manipulate or align with the framework that everyone else had. If someone wants to be mad, let them. If they decide that they want to be a rapper, let them. If they decide they want to waste their life, let them. If they decide that they want to go and jump off a cliff and into the water, let them. Quit trying to control everyone else and simply focus on you. What is it that I need to do? What is right for me? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay? Yes, Toya says sometimes I can relate to that struggle because it's sometimes I definitely find this challenging. It is. It's very challenging to simply say no and not go running and chasing and trying to help and bail everybody else out. Also, to discern what is right for you and do what is right for you despite the opposition from other people. Okay, yes, Didi. Didi says, let them, but it's hard when you love those people and you see so much within them. Absolutely. That is one of the biggest struggles. It's one of my biggest struggles, especially with the people that I love. When I see the potential and I see the ability and the talent and the skill within them, and then I see them making choices that are antithetical to their ability and talent, I want to rush in and shake them, and I want to choke them, and I want to try and push them and prod them in the right direction. But there is a point where you got to back up and just let them. Otherwise, you're going to stress yourself out and find yourself pulling your hair out and feeling heartbroken and upset and angry and mad and frustrated and flabbergasted because you keep trying to control the choices of someone else. If that's what they choose, let them. Offer your guidance, offer your advice, offer your counsel. But at the end of the day, it's their choice. So let them. Without stressing yourself, without falling apart, without getting all upset and discombobulated, simply let them. I'm telling you, this book is phenomenal. It is profound. It's giving me a lot of those aha moments. It's helping me right now, especially in this season of my life. Any parent that's got children needs to read the let them theory. That right there, man. Because kids, I have you pulling your, if I had hair, I would have pulled it out. Okay? But there is a point you have to let them. Okay? Right. It's their choice. So let them. That's right. Okay? The book is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Outstanding. You should get that. But she ain't paying me to promote this, but I'm just promoting it. You should get this book, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. It will revolutionize your life. Those two simple words are freeing, and man, they are liberating. All right, let's keep going. All right. The goal of discernment is not to place ourselves above anyone. That's why I was talking about these folks who walk around with their eyes squinted and all making these faces like, I see something that you don't see. I see dead people. I really do, but we ain't talking about that right now. It is not to place yourself above people or above others, but it is to navigate your way through this path that stays true to your values and your divine purpose. Let me say that again. Divine discernment is not about placing yourself above others, but it is to help you to navigate this path, to navigate a journey that stays true to your values and your purpose. This is the purpose or the function of divine discernment. It's not about trying to uncover anybody else or uncover anybody's mess. It's about your being able to successfully navigate this life path that you're on and making sure that it remains aligned with your values and with your purpose. Are you doing things that align with your highest vision and version for your life? That should be the number one question that you ask yourself before embarking upon anything. Does this align with the highest vision and version that I have for my life? Does this align with my values? Does it align with my purpose? What I understand my purpose to be. Charles Spurgeon, who was a 19th century preacher and great philosopher, is famous for having said this. He said, discernment is not knowing the difference between right and wrong. It is knowing the difference between the right and the almost right. Or as I said, the good and what is right for you. Okay? This is where discernment really does the work, in helping you to decipher between what's good and then what is right for you. Now, let's turn inward a little bit. Discernment suggests that there is a wisdom and insight, a revelation, a knowledge that comes from a higher source that comes from God, from the Holy Spirit, from the divine within, from your higher consciousness, whatever term you want to use, from a divine mind, a divine intelligence. But I'm going to use the term God, the all of everything. That there is this divine guidance that emerges within each and every one of us at the time that we desire it most. That we simply have to take the time to access so that we can know. Can I tell you this? You always know the right thing to do. You always have the answers. You may not always be conscious of the right thing or the answer, but it is always within you. You see, the divine presence, the divine essence of God is resident within you. You are the expression of that divine presence. And since God is omniscient, all knowing, there is nothing that God does not know. It knows the end from the beginning. It sees all things, knows all things. Then you, consequently, as being the divine extension or expression of that divinity, know all things, sees the end from the beginning. But it is in your subconscious, hidden, loaded, and coded within your soul, in your DNA. All the answers are there, and you are not consciously aware of what you know. So you don't fully know what you know. That sounds paradoxical, but it's true. You're not consciously cognizant of what you instinctively know. And that's where your divine discernment comes in. That's where your intuition kicks in. That's where your divine instincts begin to foster a direction and guidance for you that is beyond your conscious awareness at the moment. You have the answers to all of your questions. You are the answer, and you are the solution that you are looking for. It's already in you. You simply have to go inward and access it. You have to sometimes dig down and mine through all of the minutia and the noise from your past experiences and your traumas, from your culture, your environment, your religion to get to it. But it is deeply embedded within you, and your gut, your intuition, your intuitive knowing will always guide you into all truth, give you clarity, and show you those things which are to come. That is, give you a premonition, a revelation, if you will, a forewarning and foreknowledge of what's getting ready to take place in your life. This is divine discernment. Okay? It is that creative space within your soul. It is that intuitive knowing within you that is always functioning, and it is always in operation. It's operating in you right now. Even though you may not be consciously aware of it, it is operating and functioning within you right this moment. Are you hearing what I'm saying? There's a biblical story about a king by the name of Solomon that kind of highlights the importance of divine discernment. When he was just a child, thrust into leadership to now become the king of all of Israel, he has an encounter with the all of everything with God, and God says to him, according to the narrative, you can ask for anything that you desire. Whatever it is that you desire, whatever you want, just name it, and I'm going to give it to you. Now imagine you having an encounter with God, with the all of everything, and this divine spirit, this presence, this creator says to you, you can have whatever you want. I felt my TI come up a little bit. And Solomon is recorded to have said, after pondering over it for a moment, he simply responds by saying to God, here is what I want. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking for long life. I just want the wisdom and the discernment to lead the people. I just want to be able to govern well. I just want to be able to make right decisions. I want to have good judgment. So he says, I just need the wisdom and the discernment to rule well. Think about that for a moment. Think about the implication of that request. Think about how much further you could be in life if you always operated with the wisdom and the discernment, the right judgment to make the right choices and decisions in your life. Think about some of the things that you could have avoided had you just made a different choice. Some of the hurts, some of the scars, some of the traumas, some of the disappointments, some of the heartbreaks that you could have avoided, some of the time wasted if you had just been able to discern the right choice, the right decision. Some of the relationships that traumatized you, broke your heart, if you had just been able to discern, or willing, not able. Let me change that. Not able, because you are able. Willing to discern. There is never a time that you've made a decision in your life where you were not able to discern what was actually right for you, yet you overrid it and decided to choose your ego instead. Decided to choose pleasing and enabling another person instead. Decided to align yourself with your codependency instead. You knew that wasn't the right person. You saw all the red flags, but you thought they were cute then. And you thought they would change. And you thought they'd be different once you got into the relationship. You knew. You thought once you got that wedding ring, once you walked them down the aisle, that they would change. You thought that if you did enough, served enough, loved enough, gave enough, became enough, adjusted enough, lowered yourself enough, that somehow they would change and they would see you and they would love you and they would value you. You knew, but you did it anyway. Come on. Come on. I need everybody watching me on TikTok as well as across all the other platforms, Facebook and YouTube, to put in the comments, I knew, but I did it anyway. Oh, I knew, but I did it anyway. I knew it wasn't right for me. I knew it didn't feel right. I knew it wasn't the direction for me. I knew it wasn't the right choice. But I did it anyway. I just need some honest folk to put it in the comments and tell the truth. I knew. Oh, I knew exactly who they were. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew exactly what was coming. I knew it. Yeah, I knew. But I did it anyway. I did it for whatever the reasons were, whatever the causes were, whatever the hopes, the ambitions were. But there were those flags that popped up and you knew. You saw it. But you just believed God that it was going to change supernaturally. Oh, abracadabra, hocus pocus, aloysius. Oh, it's going to change. It's going to be different. Oh, I'm going to bind the devil and loose and yashabaka-ta-ta-ta-ta. You knew, but you did it anyway. Come on. I knew it. That's right. Put it in the comments. I see y'all. I knew, but I did it anyway. Okay? There's another principle in the Bible in James that says, there is no one who is tempted. Let no one say when he is tempted that I am tempted of God, because God tempts no man with evil. But every one of us is drawn away. Every one of us rather encounters the evil or the bad or the hurt or the brokenness when we are drawn away and enticed by our own lusts. our own desires, our own yearnings. How many times have you been led astray because of your own? Everything in you was screaming, this is not the right direction. This is not the right choice. This is not the right relationship. This is not the right thing. This is not the right place. This is not the right job. But your own desire, your own lust, your own learning overrode your intuitive voice, and you decided, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it because I need the money. I'm going to do it because I need the validation. I'm going to do it because I think that I need this position. I'm going to do it because I don't want anyone to think this about me or that way about me. I'm going to do it because I want people to think this way and to think that way about me. I'm going to do it because it goes against what I know within me. I know it's not for me, but I'm going to do it anyway because it feels good and I like it. Oh my goodness. Come on. You knew, but you did it anyway. You knew. You were not fooled. You were not tricked. You were not manipulated. Oh, they tricked me. They deceived me. They didn't deceive you. You knew. I've made decisions and choices that went against my intuition. My intuition told me. I knew it. I had a premonition. I had a divine knowing. But I decided I'm going to do it anyway. And then you got to come up with a way to justify doing what you know is not right for you. But you do it anyway. And then the consequences come, and you want to get mad at the other person, and you want to get mad at the situation when the person you got to be mad at, but they lied to me. They deceived me. Yes, and they have to be accountable for the lies and the deceit. But you knew they were lying. And you did it anyway. Come on, ain't nobody going to holler back at me now. Come on, I'm preaching deliverance to my own soul. Y'all ain't hearing me this morning. You believed the lie because the lie was exactly what you wanted to hear. So they didn't, wasn't no hard thing for them to deceive and lie to you because they said exactly what you wanted to hear and you gobbled it up, even though everything in you was screaming. This is not right. This is not true. This is not good. But you did it anyway. Hello? Y'all ain't gonna talk back to me. Come on. That divine discernment, I told you, it's innate, it's inherent, it is within you. You always know. You just have to be willing to align yourself with it, that intuition that's within you. You know it. You know it. I knew, but I did it anyway. So that's what God, the all of everything, the omniscient God, has gifted us with. Every single being that exists. That intuition, that feeling, that gut feeling, that nauseous feeling that you get when something's not quite right. That thing you call something. What in the world, Lord? They always do this on TikTok. You got to solve a puzzle in order to keep screaming after an hour. Stay with me, okay? All right. You knew it. You get that hunch, that deep inner knowing. Something told me not to go there. Something told me not to do this. Something told me they were lying. Something told me that something didn't feel right about it, but I did it anyway. Because it fed my ego. It fed a part of me that was my own lust and my own desire. And I decided I'm going to do it anyway. And then when the consequences come, I'm not going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to blame everybody around me. Lord, I'm going to do one of the preacher things now. Who am I talking to this morning? I know who I'm talking to. You and me. Talking to us. You override that discernment. Are you hearing me? From a physiological aspect, intuition draws on patterns,
memories, experiences that are stored within our subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is like a supercomputer that records everything. It's always there. When you say you forget, it means that it is no longer within your conscious awareness, but it's not gone anywhere. It's written in your subconscious. Your subconscious mind does not forget anything. It sees everything, it observes everything, it experiences everything, it records everything. And therefore, it is very aware of patterns, practices, patterns, and principles. It sees these patterns repeating itself and sets off an alarm through your intuitive soul and says to you, don't do this, don't go there, or you should do this, you should go there, this is for you, this is the pattern. That's physiological, biological. Spiritually, it is written within your subconscious mind, within the depths of your soul. Your soul has a record. Some call it an Akashic record. Whatever terminology you want to use, but it is the mind of God present within each and every one of us. And it focuses and notices these patterns that are happening around you, or we call them red flags. You have it within you to discern. But you do have to be tuned in, and you do have to be willing to submit to what you are sensing and you are intuitively knowing. If it don't fit, you must quit. I'm using Johnny Cochran to say that sometimes some things just don't fit. You can feel that it doesn't fit. And if it don't fit, they used to have this song. I don't forget who sang it. If it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it flow. You gotta know. Don't be trying to force something that doesn't fit. How many relationships are you trying to force and it doesn't fit? How many jobs are you trying to force it because you need that money, you need that income, I got bills to pay, but you know it doesn't fit you. You know it's not for you. It's not right for you, but you keep trying to hang in there because I need. And that's your problem. You keep operating from a place of I need. You don't have no I need. It's I want. Not I want, brother. I have. I am. Okay? And when you operate from the place of abundance, then you don't allow need to drive you. And you are led by your intuition. You are led by divine discernment and not by need, lack, want, scarcity. Y'all not hearing me. Many of you are working jobs right now of lack, want, need, and scarcity. That's what led you to it, not abundance. You didn't operate from the place of abundance. And so your intuition, your divine discernment knew when they offered you the position, it wasn't the right hours, it wasn't the right job, it wasn't the right place, it wasn't the right setting, it wasn't the right operation. You could feel everything in you starting to shut down and shrink because it's like, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it because I got these bills to pay. But you also have limitless creativity within you. You have the capacity to do whatever you choose to do and to generate revenue streams of revenue and abundance coming into your life to have more than enough to mean anything. But because nobody told you that and nobody taught you that, you override everything in you that's divinely discerning that this place is not for you. This job is not for you. This experience is not for you. And you decide, I'm going to do it anyway. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you when I talk about divine discernment? Man, my likes are way too low over here. I need y'all to start double tapping this screen. Everybody that's on with me right now, double tap, double tap, double tap. Do me a favor. Do that for me, please. Let's get these likes up. Great day. I need a whole bunch, like tons of them. Come on, y'all. Help me out over here. Y'all usually my biggest participators. I need y'all. Come on. Double tap that screen, if you will. All right. Again, from the spiritual metaphysical perspective, intuition is often seen as the voice of the soul, the higher self, and the divine intelligence that is speaking from within you. It is the subtle guidance system that connects you to deeper truth and universal wisdom, energies that are beyond this material world. Intuition transcends the limits of the physical senses and taps into the invisible realms of knowledge. I'm going to say that again. I highlighted it when I wrote it down. Intuition transcends the limits of the physical senses and taps into the invisible realms of knowledge and knowing. Okay? It is immediate. That divine discernment, that intuitive knowing, that gut feeling is immediate. It's an immediate sense of trust or distrust in a person, place, or thing. It's that sudden feeling of change in plans, which later prove to be something wise. Have you ever decided that you were going to go somewhere and then something in you just said, nah, you don't need to go there. Just go ahead and stay home. I mean, you got it all planned out. Maybe you've even spent money and said, I'm going to this, that, and the other. But something inside of you said, nah, you don't need to go. And your conscious mind kicks in and starts saying, but you done spent your money. You made your reservation. You already paid for this. You crazy. You better go ahead. But something in you is saying, no, you don't go. And either you override it and go and then you wish you hadn't, or you don't go and you find out that was the right choice for me. Okay? It's that inspired idea that comes into your mind, your conscious mind, out of nowhere and clicks, turns on a light, and you're like, I get it. I got it. I know. That's your divine discernment and intuition that's kicking in. It's that strong internal nudge or judgment, not judgmentalism, that something about this isn't right or something is wrong for you. Not that it's wrong completely, but that it's simply not right for you. This doesn't align with you. It's that feeling within you that, okay, this is good, but it just doesn't feel right for me. It doesn't feel like home. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yes? So intuition is always, here's some characteristics, is always immediate. It's not the result of step-by-step reasoning. Matter of fact, sometimes it doesn't have reasoning attached to it at all. It's just a knowing. It kicks in. That discernment, it just kicks in. It often comes with these feelings of calm and peace and certainty without any proof, without any evidence. You simply feel the peace, that resonance within you about it. Okay? It tends to be subtle and persistent. It doesn't scream and yell, and it's not earth-shaking earthquakes, but it is that subtle and persistent feeling, nagging feeling within you. This is not it. This is not it. This doesn't fit. This doesn't work. Okay? The intuitive mind, this is Albert Einstein. Listen to this. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Man, let me read that again. Albert Einstein. He says the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, a divine gift, the gift of God. The rational mind is a faithful servant. Then he says, we have created a society that honors the servant, the rational mind, and has forgotten about the gift, the intuitive knowing. Sometimes, in most cases, intuition overrides logic. I like, and I'm a logical, very logical, analytical person. I like for things to make sense. And so it's difficult for me sometimes to turn away from what is logical and trust what's intuitive, what I intuitively know. I'm a very logical person. Many of you watching me, you're the same way. You're very, very analytical, very logical. And if something doesn't make sense, you just say, nah, But sometimes, in many cases, when your intuition is heading or pushing in a different direction, you have to be willing to surrender your logic to what you intuitively sense, feel, and know. What is your gut saying? The logic is there. I'm not telling you ignore it and that, you shouldn't be logical, because that's who I am. But there's a point where your intuition has to override logic. It's that knowing. It's that all-knowing presence of the omniscient one within that can see the end from the beginning, that knows what the outcome is going to be before you get there. That logically you cannot perceive it or see it. It doesn't add up. But intuitively, you just have a knowing that this is the right direction, the right place, the right choice, the right decision, the right person. I just know it. When everything around you is contradicting it. And logic is saying, don't be stupid. But intuitively, your soul is saying, yeah, but this is home. This is right. This is the space. Okay? So let's talk about accessing and asking, and I'm done. Okay, I'm done because I'm over my time already. I'm over my time by like 12 minutes. So I'm done. One way to do this, to access your discernment, to access that intuitive knowing, is simply by asking. Through prayer, through meditation, through study, all of the keys to the universe that I've taught about before, and I'm teaching it again in the partner portal right now. We're going through the 7 keys to the universe. Man, you should be a partner with Emerge, because I'm releasing information in there that's so powerful. Woo. Okay? But through prayer and meditation and read and research, you simply have to do the asking. There's a text in James that says that if any man lack wisdom, insight, revelation, understanding, direction, that's that word, wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives liberally and doesn't get upset about giving it to you. It says upbraideth not, which means he doesn't get upset. He ain't mad. God is eager. The divine spirit that you are in, through, and as you is eager to share this insight. You simply have to ask. If you lack wisdom, it says, ask. Go into prayer. Ask. Ask, seek, knock, which spells ask. A-S-K. Ask shall be given. Seek, you shall find. Knock, the door shall be open, which acronym, ask. Simply ask. In another text, it says, in all your ways, acknowledge the divine within. Consult with your spirit, and it will lead you in the right path. Before you make a decision and a choice, take a moment and pause. Sit. Discern by simply asking. Asking, God, give me the discernment. Help me to see what I might be missing, and then guide me to my next step. Whew. That's a good prayer right there. Just who's scribing for me? Write this in the comments. I'm going to repeat. I'm trying to repeat it verbatim what I said. Write this as a prayer that you can, just a brief prayer that you can pray when you're trying to make a decision and a choice. God, give me discernment. Help me to see what I might be missing. Guide me to my next step. Did you get that? Let me say it again. God, give me discernment. Help me to see what I might be missing and guide me to my next step. Very brief prayer. Sit with that. Pray that prayer. Pray it out loud. And then just sit quietly and listen. Feel. Yes, thank you, Toya. I'm going to put it on screen. Toya wrote it down for me. God, give me discernment. Help me to see what I might be missing and guide me to my next step. Guide me to my next step. And then just sit with that and listen. Listen internally. Listen for that intuitive voice, that still small voice inside. Look for the synchronicities around you that align with the truth that emerges. That divine guidance system is loaded and coded in your DNA. That is your divine discernment. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay? God wants to give it to you more than you desire it. You simply have to ask for it. It's waiting to emerge. The answer is within you, loaded and coded in your DNA. It's just waiting for you to simply ask. If anyone lack wisdom, let them ask of the divine, who gives liberally and upbraideth not, does not mind, is eager to share it with you. Toya asked a good question. She says, how do you decipher when the synchronicities are so many? That's a very good question. First, it's understanding what these synchronicities mean. Okay? That is a skill and a technology that is learned over a process and period of time as you have more and more experiences. You can also, consult Google, consult ChatGPT, and they'll explain some of these synchronicities. But they can be wrong sometimes, especially ChatGPT. Remember, that is AI. So it is giving information that's been programmed into it. Okay? It can be wrong at times. But the most important thing is also get a good spiritual mentor, a good spiritual leader, a guide, a guru, a shaman, someone who is attuned with the Spirit of God and can offer you insight and counsel. This is very important as well. Okay? The scripture says that in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. That when you have counselors who are attuned and aligned with God, you can find safety in that counsel. But here is the most important thing. Beyond everything else, listen to your inner voice. Synchronicities are wonderful. Outward signs, books and movies and plays, counselors are all wonderful to have. They help to reinforce, to affirm, to confirm. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you, because you are the sole responsible party for your life. It comes down to you. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to your inner voice, that intuition, that gut feeling inside of you. Listen to it. Above your pastor, your preacher, your guru, your shaman, your mentor, your leader, your friends, your family, your mama, your grandmama, your church, your religion, your trauma, your feelings, all of the other things. Listen to you. Listen to that inner voice. Listen to what's being said and what you are sensing and feeling on the inside. That's a really good question. Okay. Man, I got a lot more. I don't have a whole lot more time. I've already kept you 20 minutes over time. So come on, TikTok. I need some more likes. Y'all double tap that screen. Come on, Facebook, YouTube. I need some more interaction. Hit those hearts. Give me some hearts over here. Hit it and run them up right now. I need a whole bunch of hearts. Come on. Let me see the hearts flying up right now. Everybody, start hearting. Start hearting. Look at the new vocabulary that we have with social media now. Start hearting. Okay, y'all, come on, start tapping the screen. Help me out over here. We're getting ready to go out. I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for participating. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. I want you, here's the call to action. This week, I want you to exercise your divine discernment. I want you to exercise it in practical ways. I want you to identify at least one decision or situation, big or small, where you could use some clarity. Just identify whether it's about a relationship, a person, a place, a thing, a big decision or a small decision. Just identify one thing where you could use some clarity. And then I want you to pray and ask, pause, take a deep breath, take a beat, and listen. Feel. Pay attention to your feelings, your gut feelings, those feelings within your soul, your intuitive voice. Seek counsel if you have a spiritual leader, mentor, shaman, guru, pastor, preacher. And then make a decision that brings you peace. That's the call to action this week. Find one thing where you could use clarity on. You need some clarity. And then I want you to do those 5 things. Pray and ask. Pause, be still, listen. Feel your feelings. Listen to that intuitive voice, the gut feeling, those emotions, those feelings inside of you. Seek out counsel. Bounce it off trusted leaders, friends, loved ones, counselors, life coach, guru, shaman. And then finally, make a decision that brings you peace. Even though it may not be logical, make a decision that brings you overwhelming peace. As the scripture says, a peace that passes all understanding. And then move boldly forward. This is your call to action. This is your homework, your assignment for this week. Okay? Thank you again for tuning in. Man, wasn't this good? I enjoyed today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I had a wonderful time teaching it, and I enjoyed the conversation and our being able to interact with each other. I want to invite you to tune in with me next week across every platform here on the Emerge Empowerment Session at 9 a.m. Next week, we'll continue with the Ministry of Value, and we will discuss a different aspect of value for next week. I'm not exactly sure which one yet. I'm going to deal with a different value, though, under that heading. You don't want to miss it. You want to be a part of this conversation. I'm asking everyone that's watching me across every platform to give an offering or sow a seed in support of the platform today. You can see on your screen the ways that you can give. For those of you watching on TikTok, I'm not able to put it on screen over here, but it is written already in the description that if you'd like to give a gift, you can do so by using our CashApp. The CashApp is $emergelec. EMERGELEC. $emergelec. And you don't have to, but I'm asking you to. I'm asking for your help and your support to give a gift, large or small, sow a seed, large or small, and support this platform. Those of you watching on all the other platforms, you see on your screen the different ways that you can give, whether it's through CashApp, Zelle, PayPal, or Venmo. If you have benefited from being a part of this conscious conversation, if this platform blesses you, informs you, inspires you, then I'm going to ask you to support it and show your appreciation for it by giving a significant seed today. Whatever that amount is to you, give a significant seed and sow. Do it right now as we prepare to go off the air. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being a part of the Emerge family. Consider becoming a partner with Emerge. It's a really great thing to do and a great program to be involved in. Everything from our financial fitness plan. I'm about to introduce our physical fitness plan and then our spiritual fitness plan as well as other insights and teachings and revelation that I don't share on the general platform. It's a place where you can find community and connect with other people who are like-minded. I invite you to become a partner with the Emerge movement. All right. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here, and have the absolute best day ever.
Some of you are even afraid to dream, afraid to imagine. But I'm here to tell you that you are an infinite, limitless, boundless being. Are you willing to do what is necessary to have what you desire?
You've been listening to Apostle Isaac Miles, the disruptive innovator, a mentor, an author, a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, and the founder and spiritual director at emergelec Life Enrichment Center. Please take a minute to subscribe, like, and share this page. If you'd like to become a partner, you can do so by emailing us at emerge.lifecenter@gmail.com. Again, that's emerge.lifecenter@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for watching.